Hey painters, do you have a ceiling that needs painting? How do you know which paint to use? We're about to go over some of the key facts about painting ceilings to help put you in the best possible position to make an informed decision. I'm James from thepaintpeople.com and welcome to Paint School. I wouldn't exactly call myself a paint professor, but I've worked with paint professionally for about half my life. More importantly, there's an entire team of experts here at the Paint People working behind the scenes, and they're all passionate about all things paint. If you see Party Pete in the comment section, he's one of us. And if you like learning, smack that like button for us, will ya? Today's episode is about the concept of ceiling paints, why they exist in the first place, what are the benefits of using them, and also the different types that are out there. Not many products are known to be location specific. A lot of paints are more general purpose. So why do ceiling paints exist? Is it just a marketing ploy by paint companies to get you to invest in a separate product? Well, if you've ever painted a ceiling yourself, you've probably noticed that it presents some unique challenges. Ceilings provide a big, highly visible surface area that requires a level of care when painting. If you make mistakes on a ceiling, you can't really hide them with a strategically placed picture frame. The primary advantage of a good quality dedicated ceiling paint is it makes the painting process a lot easier. Let's take a look at some of the advantages. First one being viscosity. Ceiling paints tend to have a larger percentage of solids, and this helps with stain coverage. It also makes them easier to apply overhead. If you've ever used a thin, runny paint, you may have noticed the amount it can spatter all over the place. This effect is even more prominent when rolling a ceiling. You'll likely end up with a fine paint mist everywhere. The all-purpose paint products that you would use on walls can have 10 to 15% less solids than a dedicated ceiling paint. So if you're just using a regular flat latex paint up there, I'd be sure to also have an umbrella handy. Speaking of a flat paint, that's another thing about ceilings that I should mention. You almost always want to go with flat as your sheen level on a ceiling, mainly because it'll show less imperfections, leaving you with a really consistent looking ceiling. Another fun little benefit of some ceiling paints is their ability to have an even flatter finish than what you'd get in a traditional matte finish, for example. Products like Benjamin Moore's waterborne ceiling paint come in an ultra flat finish, which hides imperfections even better. The need for a flattest possible finish becomes less of a concern if you're painting a stucco or a popcorn ceiling. But the type of paint you use for this purpose is crucial. Stucco ceilings must be painted with caution. A regular thin water-based paint will likely cause the popcorn finish to peel off while you paint. This is a huge problem that occurs when the stucco has not been painted before. You can test this out by scratching the stucco with your finger. If it comes off fairly easily, it's probably unpainted and will likely require an oil-based ceiling paint to coat it properly. Even though I don't use nearly as much oil-based paint as I did 10 years ago, let's say, an oil-based ceiling paint, on the other hand, is my go-to for stucco. What it does is it glides along the surface of the popcorn ceiling without oversaturating it, so you're in essence sealing it in place. Oil-based paints can be a bit frustrating to use because they smell and require thinners to clean up, but the good news is you only really need to use them the first time on a stucco ceiling. Once it's been painted once, you can revert back to an easier to use water-based product as it's already been sealed in. Now, much like a moisture-resistant paint, ceiling paints provide a niche use case that can make your life a lot easier. Check out our link down below if you're looking to pick up some ceiling paint. And if you want class to continue, there's more Paint School right over here. What are your thoughts on ceiling paint in general? Let us know down below. That's it for this one. See you on the next one.